One thing we teach in my courses is the different, we use the words astral and etheric. Astral being the whole digital success, the social media, crushing life in terms of outer success, money. And then etheric being your internal well being, the way that you feel with your breath, your thoughts, your heart, your emotions, your immediate surroundings, the plants, the trees, the nature. We're having a loss of an understanding of, and people are associated with their astral identity. And
Hmm.
so they're able to just make money and crush their astral world. And it feeds their brain enough chemicals to where they can keep going for a certain amount of years. Eventually it crashes. And so when people are stuck in that game, there's no reason to eat healthy. Why would I eat healthy? Because
Right.
I'm winning, man. Don't you see I'm winning, right? It's only when you have an illness or you have wisdom or whatever, you have a value system that you start to understand that the way that you feel on a moment to moment basis is the ultimate currency.
Yes.
It's the ultimate currency. You can't buy your way to it. It's not you.
No,
There's no amount of money. A billionaire can spend $1 billion and still not feel his heart
that's
and
right.
his emotions, right?
Yeah.
And they try to. They'll buy prostitutes and cocaine and this and that, right? But ultimately, what everyone is chasing is a feeling of it's a hum of well being inside, right?
Mm,
And I have it a lot. I don't have it every day, every minute of every day, but I have it a lot. And there's nothing I would trade for it now that I know what it's like to have,
yeah.
right? And so all of that is to say that people are stuck in that other world, and I don't think they understand this whole other dimension. And if they did, they wouldn't eat the pizza. They wouldn't drink the beer because
Yeah.
it destroys you
Yeah.
on this level. On this
Yeah.
level. Yeah. You might still
And,
crush, make money. You might still be famous, but okay. Yeah.
and that's the thing, right? I feel like technology, social media, they are tools. I'm not going to say they're good or bad. We just probably been using them in the
Yeah.
improper ways, especially from a young age on. And the idea of success, winning are all in that astral plane as you talk about,
Mhm.
and then posted for the world to see to then become, wanting of that and desiring the same
Yes.
thing through the pictures without knowing the backstory, the suffering maybe that is still there.
Yeah.
What do you tell the people? Like, what are the steps to get out of that? It's incredibly hard. Listen, I even
Yeah.
get it. I didn't grow up. Like my first cell phone came out like when I was 19 or 18 or 19, right? So I didn't live with a, and even then it was like one of those Nokia brick phones, like say by
Yeah.
the belt style, Zach. And it was only until like I was in my 20s that true smartphones came out. And even myself, I find myself sometimes like reaching for it and just doing endless scroll at times. And
Yeah.
I'm very vigilant of this stuff. I talk about it a lot. I talk to people like you and like, no digital detoxes
Yeah.
and get out there in nature without it and don't put it around when other people are around. But how do you work with people that are already in it? Because it seems like this is like a drug addiction that's very
Yeah.
difficult. People have
Oh
a
yeah.
very difficult time breaking it. And you're talking about for some people since, they were very young. So it's like
Yes.
a belief system. When it's ingrained, sometimes it's just subconscious, and those are really difficult to break. What are the
Yes.
steps to like breaking free of the dopamine rush?
Mm. I mean, wow, what a difficult thing to answer. I mean,
Yeah. Is awareness like a starting point to at least say to yourself that this is impacting me negatively?
my experience is that if someone is not in pain, they
Mm,
will not they will not recognize it as a true problem.
right.
They A lot of people that I work with, I don't try and change where they're at. They want performance enhancement in terms of detox, they want to have a clearer mind. That's one tier of category of people that we work with. And I usually don't try and change their world too much. But there's a whole category of people who were once that and it collapsed. And those are the people who are willing to truly listen and truly listen to what I have to offer. The other people, they'll listen to my supplements, they'll listen to my detox, they don't really care about my worldview because why? Because they're dominating life, right?
Yeah.
They're dominating life. I don't have time to any changes. I'm making so much money. It doesn't fucking matter, dude. Right?
Right.
Right. But then eventually, like I said, that will end. That will expire. It's not sustainable. The people who have had that collapse is when they start to really be open and to learn. And for that, for those people, it's basic steps. I keep my phone in my car every night. I put my phone in my car,
Hmm.
right? And I do
Smart.
this because first thing in the morning, it is so easy to grab it. And when it's in my car, it gives me that buffer zone.
Yeah.
Right. And even 10 or 20 minutes without it is very different because I get to catch my thoughts. Right.
Hmm.
I get to catch my thoughts and take stock of how I'm feeling that day before I reach for that dopamine, which forever will change my mind for the entire day. As
Right.
soon as I get on the internet, my mind is different the whole day. Right. And so I don't have an exact formula, but I like to really just teach people how to get into their etheric, their body, and that's done with
Yeah.
a whole number of practices. Yeah, and then also we do retreats, which is I would say the number one thing is if someone can go to a retreat where they have days without phones. So we do 6 days with no phones, right? And that's
Nice.
pretty amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
could change your life in 6 days
yeah,
with no
yeah.
phone, or at least you could
Right.
come to the side and see what it's like,
Yes.
right? Because at least once a year, I'll do just like a getaway, a trek. And I was just in Bhutan a couple months ago, and there's no cell service there, no nothing. You just put your phone away. It's literally a camera. That's it.
Yeah.
Or just once it dies, it's just a paperweight. But it's liberating. Like at first you get a little sketchy. You're like, oh man, like I wonder if emails are coming in. I wonder if this is
Mm.
how, what if someone's texting me that's important, right?
Yeah.
You start doing that in your mind, but a day or two, just like hiking in nature, you're just suddenly change.
Yes.
You go into that like really nice parasympathetic, balance with sympathetic and not over too far. And you
Yes.
just feel different. So I think it's really important.